Greetings and welcome to Make Sense. Today we're gonna discuss the story of Daniel in the lion's den, and we're gonna make it make sense by showing you how to understand it from a different angle and how it is all nonsense when you believe that the Bible is literal and secular history and it is pointing you to look outwardly. If you really believe that this story of Daniel in the lion's den is a literal story and a historical event that would have taken place thousands of years ago, then all you have to do is do the same thing like Daniel. Go in a lion's den with hungry lions and turn your back, literally turn your back to those hungry lions. I can guarantee you that there's no Christian in this world who will be willing to go in a lion's den or to be thrown in a lion's den. As a matter of fact, they will turn around and tell you that is not wisdom. And they fail to realize it is not wisdom to believe that it has ever happened. Or it could ever happen. Okay? As a matter of fact, for example, if I was to challenge a Christian to be thrown among some pit bulls, not even lions, some pit bulls, okay, they would be so fearful for their life because they've never seen it done before. Yet they believe it without questioning what was taught to them. Now, if you look at this story from a metaphysical standpoint or from an esoteric standpoint, if you look at it from a psychological standpoint, it will make sense to you. That's the reason why I am stating right now that the Bible is actually a book of mind science. And so it is teaching you that when you come up against circumstances in life, you have to realize that you are the cause and the circumstances, they are the effect. And so when you take control, dominion, and power over those circumstances, that is you turning your back against things that could devour you, things that can destroy you. Because, you see, when you speak of a lion, it is speaking of a power. It is speaking of an animalistic power. Well, every one of us have an animalistic side of our existence that can destroy us, that can keep us in the animalistic realm, that can keep us in the realm of ego, where we put God on the outside and we believe that we are human, trying to be spiritual, when in fact we are a spirit and we are just having a human experience. So the lions that are out to destroy you are the thoughts that you go back to all the time, that you allow to devour you and to overpower you. And your king, Nebuchadnezzar, is also the dominant thoughts that rule over you and wants to keep you in idolatry. It puts you in a place of having laws that are not in line with the rest of nature, which means they're not universal laws. You're following laws that are not immutable. You're following laws that doesn't make any sense. And so you live a nonsensical life, being a religious and superstitious person, trying to liken yourself to Daniel in the lion's den and reading all of these stories and think that they are events that would have taken place on earth thousands of years ago. But the Bible have no reference to anyone who existed thousands of years ago or to any actual event that would have taken place on earth thousands of years ago. From the beginning to the ending of the Bible, it's all a great psychological drama. It all have to do with the mind. You see, everything has to first be a thought, it has to first be an idea, and it has to first be imagined. And no book can be written, and it wasn't first a thought or first an idea or first imagined. So when you understand the Bible from that standpoint, which is the standpoint of it being a book of mind science, then you can understand what it means when you're in the lion's den. Okay, when you have all kind of situation that you have to face. You have to face inflation. When you have to come up against the 2020 to 2022 big pandemic, that was the time you had to turn your back against, okay, the lions that wanted was to devour you. But unfortunately, most religious people, they give their shoulder and their bottom to be inoculated because they had loans and mortgages. And instead of they being above, they were beneath. Instead of they being the lender, they were the borrower, and continue to be like that because they are living a life that is contradictory to the scriptures because they do not understand the Bible on all three levels. You see, you're physical, you're psychological, and you're spiritual. Therefore, a true teacher of the Bible will teach you on all three levels, okay? The esoteric level, metaphysical level, okay? And the psychological level. And so when you learn it from that angle, you realize that everything is taking place in your life and that the entire Bible is your spiritual autobiography that must be interpreted psychologically and must never be taken literally. There's nothing in the Bible that was meant to be taken literally. It's all psychological. Therefore, my brother and my sisters, be the real Daniel by conquering poverty that wants to devour you. Conquer the limited mindset. Conquer the things that was passed on to you from your parents, from your political leaders, from your school teachers, from your religious leaders, and break the spirit of conformity and be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's the only how you can be transformed. Okay? It must be done mentally. So emancipate yourself from mental slavery. And only you alone could emancipate yourself from such. So next time you hear a preacher or some religious person refer to the story of Daniel, believing it to be literal and secular history, I believe that it was a literal event that took place thousands of years ago and they cannot replicate that, then you have the opportunity to take what they say and make better sense of it for them. But remember, they will try to prosecute you and they will try to say all manner of evil against you for trying to show them the light. But as a self-realized being on this planet, I realize that my duty is to teach humanity to look inwardly to discover that their real identity is their divinity and how to conquer the hungry lions that wants to devour them. How to conquer all of your circumstances that can destroy you and devour you because these circumstances are based on fear, doubt, guilt, shame, judgment, and condemnation based on your belief system, based on what was downloaded in your subconscious mind from a little child. And that is why you have to overcome those hungry lions, those thoughts that are out to devour you, those powers that are out to devour you by keeping you in the animalistic side of life. But I'm saying to you, this is the time for you to free yourself. The choice is yours. So with that being said, my brother and my sister, I can go on and on and on, but I'm going to come to a close here. I hope what I say makes sense to you. And if it do, and you haven't subscribed already, I definitely want to encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at Black Mad Guru. If you like to get my books, all the links are down in the description. You have about 10 or so books to choose from. Also, if you want to book a one-on-one with me, you can drop me an email. If you want to be a part of my Patreon community, you're most welcome. I have a course there for people donating $20 or more. It's called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that is a bonus course on self-concept. Also, if you want to become a part of my Free Thinkers and Seekers University, you're most welcome. And weekly, I post a masterclass to help you in a spiritual journey. However, as I come to a close here, my last encouragement to you is to make sure that you check out all of the links that are down below and definitely let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. So with that being said, I just want to say peace, love you all, out.